Alright guys, we're back. We have Emmanuel playing Jeskai Stoneblade, he's 1-1, against Seth Vidanza playing Reanimator 1-1. I do feel that that Reanimator's favored in this matchup. It's funny because I work out with Manny every weekend, and unfortunately he was asking me if he should sideboard anything for graveyard hate, and I go, well, you only have one person that you know that plays a graveyard deck that's in our meta, and it's Seth Vidanza, and sure enough, that is who that's who Manny's playing against in this match. We see Seth starting off with an Underground Sea into a Ponder. Did not like his 3 cards. Drew a Ponder off of his Ponder. I think he's deciding if he wants to play his Lotus Petal this turn. Oh, nope, he just passes a turn to Manny. Seth's hand is Force of Will, Reanimate, Lotus Petal, Animate Dead, Grizzlebrand, and Ponder. Manny should be down to 18. Manny's going to write down his hand, and then draw his card. Looks like Manny drew a Volcanic Island for the turn. Manny's hand's pretty good. I see double Force and a couple blue cards. Seth does have a Force of Will. There's a black card that he drew. Oh, I'm sorry, it's an island that he drew. Sorry about that. Looks like Seth's going to start off with a Ponder here. I wonder if Manny is considering dazing this. Yep, oh, Spell Pierce. Seth plays the island, passes the turn. Manny plays a Scalding Tarn and passes the turn. Seth draws another Force of Will, which is good because he can counter spells now. But it is not a Reanimate piece. Passes the turn back to Manny. Did not get to see the card that he drew. Manny passes the turn back. Seth plays the Lotus Petal to play around Spell Pierce this turn. And he goes ahead and plays Careful Study. Just draw 2 cards, discard 2 cards. We know one of the cards is going to be a Grizzlebrand. We see Manny going to Brainstorm. Seth contemplating if he wants to force this Brainstorm or not. Seth says it resolves. Manny draws his 3 cards. Cannot see what they are. Seth says Careful Study resolves. Or Manny says it resolves. Draws a Reanimate and a Polluted Delta. He's going to discard 2 cards. It's going to be a Grizzlebrand and probably a fetch land. That's what it is. Careful Study finish resolving. We're going to see a Reanimate on Grizzlebrand. see Manny pitching Force, using Ponder to pitch to Force. We're going to see Seth Force back, pitching Force. And I think Manny still has another Force of Will in hand and a blue card. Yes, he does. We're going to see the Force pitching Ponder again. And the other Reanimate. I think we have a Daze on Manny's side. Oh, maybe not. The Grizzlebrand comes into play. Seth's going to draw 7. I'm sorry, the Reanimate drops Seth's life down to 11. It looked like on Manny's upkeep, it looks like Seth's drew the cards, but I don't think his life total should be at 4 if I'm not mistaken. Alright, maybe I guess it was end of turn. No, I don't know where we're at now. I'm confused. See if I get these life totals corrected. Unfortunately, I do think this game is over. We're going to see Manny try to resolve a dig through time. Seth's going to go ahead and daze it. Seth passes the turn. Yeah, the life totals weren't correct, but Seth is at 4, but it doesn't matter because Manny concedes this game. This is a tough matchup for Manny. Let's see. On Manny's side, we have 1 Dak Faden, 2 Meddling Mage, 2 Containment Priest, 2 Pyroblast, 2 Envelop, 2 Sudden Demise, 1 Lightning Bolt, and 1 Swords of Plowshares. On Seth's side, we have 1 Grave Titan, 1 Terastodon, 2 Massacres, 2 Pithing Needles, 2 Echoing Truths, 2 Show and Tell, 2 Mindbreak Trap, and 2 Leyline of the Void. On Manny's side, I see the 4 Meddling Mage, the 2 Containment Priest, 2 Envelop, and the Swords of Plowshares coming in. On Seth's side, I see the Grave Titan, the Show and Tells, and I think that's it, because Seth didn't see a Caracas. Manny is not playing a Caracas. But I think that's what we get to. Let's see if we can see anybody sideboarding anything. We could see Seth siding in Massacre as well. Yeah, you're correct. I looked over the Pyroblast. Manny will side in the Pyroblast as well. I think it's only 4 rounds today. We only have 12 players. This is live. So Beta, if you are new to the stream and this is your first time here, click the follow button, please. This will notify you every time we go live. We are live Legacy every Sunday. And then through the week, you can see Adam Fox and Chris Heron playing on MTGO. During the week, we will replay the broadcasts of our past tournaments. This tournament First place gets a show and tell and a city of traders, and second place gets store credit. Alright, as our players finish up shuffling, Manny will be on the play. This could be a quick game. Reanimator is a fairly quick deck. See a fairly decent hand starting off with Seth. This is it's a pretty good one for Seth. Manny keeps his cards pretty high up, so we can't really get a good look at him. But he's going to start off with a Misty Rainforest and pass the turn. That was a good draw for Seth. He does draw a Underground Sea. Let's see if he starts off with a Thoughtseize. And he does. It's Quinn. Thank you for the follow. We see Manny going to start off, or Manny's going to crack his fetch. Get a Tundra. Let's see if this gets Spell Pierced or Dazed. Can't really tell what's in Manny's hand, but we're going to find out shortly. He could Brainstorm as well. He's going to cast Envelop. That is a victory for Seth, because we do know Seth has a Show and Tell in hand. Stoneforge Mystic is the draw for Manny. He's going to lead off with a Gataxian Probe, dropping down to 17 life. He's going to reveal Show and Tell, Force of Will, Iona, Entomb, Pluto Delta, and Brainstorm. Manny's going to go ahead and write his hand down so he knows what to play around. It's always a good idea to write somebody's hand down. That way you're not leaving cards up to your memory. Manny's going to draw off his Gataxian Probe. Didn't I get a look at it? I know it's a blue card. Plays a Tundra. Casts Meddling Mage. Seth does have the option to force this. And it resolves. We will find out what Meddling Mage has named. Meddling Mage has named Show and Tell. I didn't get to see because I'm too busy trying to find out what card Meddling Mage. Did not get to see what cards are put back because I was seeing what Meddling Mage was naming. There's a good chance he named Show and Tell. We see a main phase in Entomb. It's going to be Elish Norn. It's going to be Grizzle Daddy. Grizzle Daddy's always the way to go. I seen him go past one, that's why I was wondering if it was Elish Norn. And the Force of Will is a little bit late. Meddling Mage swings in for 2. I'm going to drop Seth down to 18. May's going to cast a Ponder. May like what he's seen. I think it was a Containment Priest, if I'm not mistaken. Well, I guess not, because he would have played it that time. Seth draws a fetch land, plays his polluted Delta. And we got to reanimate. May's going to crack his fetch. Get the Volcanic Island. Tadamir, what do you need explaining? He's going to side in Containment Priest. Or he's going to cast Containment Priest. Seth's going to force. Manny's going to force back. We have Dave Winstour explaining through Facebook Messenger how amazing Containment Priest is. I did not realize that card was Flash. Reanimate drops Seth's life total down to 9. Meddling Mage and Containment Priest getting in. Going to drop Seth's life total to 5. Seth's going to go ahead and entomb. In response, Manny is going to dig through time, leaving 1 blue mana open, or I think Manny's looking for a counterspell here. I think he's looking for a Spell Pierce, or a 4 Sand of Blue card. And we see an Envelop. Envelop is another card. So those are the 2 Envelops out of Manny's sideboard we've seen here. Envelop only counters sorceries. Entomb is an instant, though. We did see Seth side into Grave Titan. It puts in another Grizzlebrand. I guess because he didn't want to show, he just didn't want to draw it, from what I understand. This turns off Seth's fetch land unless he can stop the swing of both of these creatures. It's going to drop Seth down to 1. Meddling Mage. Don't know what it's naming, but Seth's going to careful study. Now he'll envelop. The second mage was on Massacre, which was a very good idea on Manny's side. We do see some of the show and tells in Seth's deck still, or I mean in his sideboard still. Didn't get to see what he just sided in there, but let's take a look at the sideboard and see what we did see. On Seth's side, we did see the Grave Titan. he might have sided in one show and tell. On Manny's side, we did see the meddling mages come in, the containment priests, the envelops. Probably he probably did side in the pyroblast, but we didn't see him. And he might have sided in the swords to plowshares. All right. That was a great game on Manny's side, but we do know how explosive this Reanimator deck is, and I still think it is in Seth's favor, this matchup. The Reanimator deck has too many hand disruption spells, counter spells, and the mana cost efficiency is just so low that it definitely gets around multiple counter spells if you have like Seth had in game one. Um, Multiple reanimates. Looks like he is siding in massacres, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, here we go. We did see the massacre coming in for Seth. Hit 2 land. The last 2 cards were land. I don't know if that hand's all that good to keep. Seth is deciding to keep it. He's going to roll with it. Maybe Yu-Gi-Oh! Looks exactly like Magic because Magic is the original game. Magic is what started this all. And it does not look like Yu-Gi-Oh! At all. So I don't know where you get that. But thanks for your input. Alright, see Manny drop down to 6. Manny keeps a 6. Seth is going to start off with an island into a careful study. And those are some pretty good cards. He gets a reanimate and looks like a fetch land. We're going to see Iona come down in the graveyard. Iona and a fetch land. Seth's hand is Lotus Petal, Bloodstained Mire, Animate Dead, Massacre, and Brainstorm. Manny should be at 18 life. Manny's going to play the island and pass the turn. Keeping up Spell Pierce and Daze. Seth taps the island for Brainstorm. Probably looking for a counter spell. Oof, and that is a Spell Pierce on the Brainstorm. That is an aggressive Spell Pierce. Seth plays his Lotus Petal. He's probably safe to wait till next turn. Well, looks like he's deciding not to play his Lotus Petal. Alright, Manny untaps. Manny's really, I think he's really trying to play around the Massacre that's sitting in Seth's hand. Manny plays the Pluto Delta, passes the turn. Seth draws a Force of Will. Seth might go for it this turn. Might play a land and a Lotus Petal. You know, maybe Seth doesn't have a land in hand. Grabs the swamp. Plays a Careful Study. Seth just passes the turn. Manny's going to go ahead and fall to 17 life after playing his Misty Rainforest and cracking it. Manny's playing the Tundra, so he can play a Stoneforge Mystic. This is opening him up to Massacre. Not that I think Seth really cares about Stoneforge Mystic. He's going to grab Fire and Ice. Seth says he doesn't give a shit about Fire and Ice. Seth untaps. Draws a blue card for his turn. I didn't get to see what it is. Here's Animate Dead. Manny's going to go ahead and crack his fetch. Gets a Volcanic Island. Spell Pierce. We're going to see Seth Daze. Returning his island to his hand. Enemy dead resolves. Elish Norn hits the battlefield, killing the Stoneforge Mystic. Seth plays his island that got dazed back to his hand. Seth's going to go ahead and, Manny's going to go ahead and play Dig Through Time, keeping a white source open. He's going to dig for swords to plowshares. He's going to look at the top 7 cards, hopefully find a swords to plowshares. Ooh, I don't see one. No, Manny does not have a single card that can deal with Elish Norn, a single creature card. Dig Through Time resolves. Manny's going to go Taxian Probe, dig 1 card deeper, seize the Massacre and the Force of Will. The coast is clear for the Swords to Plowshares, but Manny does not draw one. Seth draws a Lotus Petal. Elish Norn's going to swing for 3, dropping Manuel down to 13. Remember, Elish Norn does have a -1 counter on it from Animate Dead. I think our life totals weren't correct because of Gataxian Probe. He had the island in his hand from the... looks like he drew Brainstorm, yeah. He had the island in his hand because he dazed one of Manny's cards, so we got to play a land. Manny's going to Brainstorm, still digging for the Swords to Plowshares. I see a white card, but it does not look like a Swords. He's going to put 2 cards back. Looks like a Containment Priest was the white card. And 2 Pyroblasts. Force of Will is the draw for Seth. Elish Norn getting in there again. Dropping Manuel down to 8. Manny's going to cast Dig Through Time, still digging for a Swords to Plowshares. Looks like Seth might hardcast Force of Will this turn. And that's it. And that's the game, ladies and gentlemen.